Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearance of the Week. This is Wednesday, March 1st, 2023. We'll be giving you all the first appearance in your comic shops today. Now this week we have a pretty good video for you guys. I think we have 4 first appearances, 6 honorable mentions. There's definitely some books in there you guys should pick up for your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearances of the week ending March 3rd, 2023. First up from DC Comics, Action Comics number 1052. This features the first team appearance of soldiers that will be mutated by Metallo. Now, we always say this with these DC comics, it really depends on what DC does with these characters they're introducing. These are first appearances of new characters, but DC doesn't have the cinematic power that the MCU or Marvel Comics has. Marvel, Disney, they are a powerhouse. They're churning out a ton of media on the small screen and big screen. DC doesn't really have that power in the media. So when they introduce new characters, these characters really have to be brought in front of people so people are aware of them. If they just appear in the comics, it really depends on how popular they are as to how important these books are going to be in the future. That's why we say with DC, it really depends on what they do with the characters. If they really get them in front of people, make them very important, make everybody want to run and chase them, then these are books you definitely want to own in your collection. If they don't, and they go nowhere, these books aren't necessarily going to have that much value in the future. That being said, this is the first team appearance of these characters, but this one here you may have some time on. Put this one here in your B-list for now and keep an eye on it. Next up from Marvel Comics, Ghost Rider number 12. Now in this issue, there's a final page cameo of Dan Ketch as Weapon X. The Ghost Rider franchise is very popular, fan favorite franchise, and Weapon X, once again, very popular. So this one here we do think is probably worth picking up for your collection. This does feature a cameo on the last page of Dan Ketch as Weapon X. This is one you probably want to pick up and add to your collection for the cover price. Go ahead and grab this one. Next up from Marvel Comics, Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones number 1. This features the first appearance of a Gwen Stacy Dr. Octopus villain. Now, any of the characters in the Spider-Man universe, these are characters you want to own in your collection. And Spider-Gwen, very popular, huge fan favorite character. So whenever there's a Spider-Gwen variant, these are characters you do want to pick up. And this is the first appearance of Gwen Stacy as a Dr. Octopus style villain. So this one here is one we do think you should pick up for your collection. Go ahead and grab this one. And finally from Marvel Comics, X-Force number 38. This features the first full appearance of the Omni-Mutant, a Frankenstein-like creature comprised of X-Men characters, cameo in X-Force number 37. Now this is the first full appearance. Like I just mentioned, the cameo was in X-Force number 37. And this is one you probably want to pick up and add to your collection at the cover price. It's going to be a little bit more speculative than some of the other titles we mentioned, because the X-Force title isn't necessarily one of Marvel's stronger titles, or one of the more heavily collected titles. But this character here, this Omni-Mutant, being a Frankenstein-like creature, kind of made up of X-Men characters, this character is very interesting, and Marvel may do something with this character on a small screen or big screen, or carry this character across other storylines, story arcs, or titles. So this is one that's probably worth specking on, so go ahead and grab this one here for your collection. And now for the honorable mentions. From Aftershock Comics, All Night and Every Day number 1. A grief-stricken woman is dragged to a cursed party that never ends, where she must learn the nature of its terrible secrets before she is consumed forever. Now, Aftershock Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up in the past, an option for small screen and big screen projects, and this one here sounds like it's lending itself very well to the small screen. So this here is definitely going to be a little bit more speculative if you choose to pick it up, but if these titles get optioned, that's a huge driver for these small press and indie publishers, and like I said, Aftershock has had a lot of their titles picked up in the past. So this one here, in our opinion, is a good spec bet. Grab this one here if you can. If you can't, put it in your B-list, but definitely keep an eye on it. Next up from Scout Comics, Dead Fellows number 1. Rescued from suicide by a benevolent spirit, a man sets out to bond with this ghost at all cost, but he quickly learns he doesn't understand the paranormal or their intentions. Now once again, this sounds like it lends itself very well to a small screen, big screen project. Scout Comics has had a lot of titles picked up and optioned in the past. So once again, this here is definitely going to be speculative if you choose to pick it up, but sounds like a good spec bet to us. Grab this one here if you can. If you can't, put it in your B-list and keep an eye on it. Next up from Mad Cave, Hunt, Kill, Repeat number 1. A decade after the Greek gods invaded Earth and enslaved humanity, the goddess Artemis seeks revenge against her father Zeus, whose ideology she defied and was punished by being stripped of everything she ever loved. Now, Mad Cave has not necessarily had a lot of their titles picked up an option in the past. That's not really an indication of the future, though. This one here does sound like it lends itself very well to a TV show, streaming series, or feature film. So this one here is definitely going to be a spec bet if you choose to pick it up. Probably a lot more speculative than some of the other titles. Like I said, Mad Cave has not really had a lot of their titles picked up in the past. So this one here, you could probably put on your B-list for now. You may have some time on this one, but keep an eye on it. Next up from Image Comics, Phantom Road number 1. A car wreck reveals a strange artifact that sends 2 truckers into a surreal world where they are pursued by strange and impossible monsters. Now, once again, sounds like it lends itself very well to a TV show, streaming series, or feature film, and Image Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up an option in the past. So this one here is going to be a spec bet, but it's probably worth it from Image Comics. So grab this one here if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list, but definitely keep an eye on this one. Next up from AWA Upshot, Red Zone number 1. An American professor is tasked by the government for a secret international mission back to Russia, where his long-buried secrets are revealed, forcing him to fight his way out of the country utilizing a particular set of skills. Now, once again, this one here sounds like it lends itself very well to a small screen and big screen project, and AWA Upshot is getting a lot more attention on their titles recently. Now, this one here is going to be speculative, but the story sounds very easily translated to the small screen or big screen. So in our opinion, this one here is a great spec bet. Pick this one here up if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list, but keep an eye on this one. And finally, from Dark Horse, Skull and Bones Savage Storm number 1. This is a 3-issue limited series based on the Ubisoft video game. Now, we always mention this with these video game-based comics. These are often under-distributed and undersold when they first come out. A lot of people don't pick up these video game-related comics. But in the future, these things, because they were undersold and under-distributed, that becomes a big price driver for these in the future, and people race back to try to pick them up. But for the cover price, this one here is probably worth specking on and adding to your collection. Like I said, you don't want to chase these later on at a much higher price when you can get it now for $3 or $4. So grab this one here if you can. If you can, though, put it on your B-list and take a look at it later on. So there you have the 10 titles that we have for you guys this week. There's definitely some books in there you guys should pick up for your collection. So please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.